Thank you all for coming. Welcome to the December 2023 Mount Jewett Borough meeting. We have a small crowd, but we do have some people, so I'll throw it out. Does anybody have any comments from the public?
I just wanna say thank you, Chuck, for putting the sign up again about the horse and buggy, cause like I said, if I'm not familiar with it, and other people drive through that aren't familiar with it, they're not gonna be watching out for it. I never thought of it.
I had quite extensive dialogue with Mr. Koblenz, and one of the suggestions, and I think he's trying to do that, is rather than come out of his driveway right there at the top of the grade, is to go down along the fence line and access Route 6 from the western edge of his property, which would give him and motoring public a better sight line.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know how that's gonna work, and I also encouraged him to use, you know, whatever lighting and reflective signs he could use on his buggies, but, you know, they're really nice folks, and he told me he underestimated the volume of traffic on 6, he didn't realize there was that much traffic on there.
Yeah.
Well, I think that sign helps a lot too.
Thank you, I hope so too.
All right, close public address and move on to the mayor's report.
Jim's not here, but I thank the Rotary for their nice event that they had. The Light Up Mount Jewett was a very nice event. Thank you to, I just want to thank you to the fire department for delivering Mr. and Mrs. Claus. It was very nice in the North Pole, and for their help shutting down the road and all of that. I had a conversation with the state police last week about, there was an incident on Route 6 that they were looking for like video footage of. They just were like looking for someone to talk with, and I thought it just made me wonder if that was something that, I don't know if that's something we would be, because I don't think there is anyone that has a camera on Main Street. Try to hide up this.
There's a couple.
There is a couple, but you know, in the case of something being a public concern, I don't know. I know we have one at the park at one point, right? But then there was a Wi-Fi issue, I think. So just, I don't know, if that was something we could think about doing, or if that was, you know, just thinking like if something were to happen. I know there's, like you just said, there's a lot of traffic on Route 6, but they were interested in talking with, you know, might be a conversation to have more with the state police about, you know, if there was potentially an accident or something, or they needed to get a hold of somebody or get footage or something. I don't think a business should be necessarily required to turn over their footage unless they, you know, involve them. But otherwise, that's kind of what I have. I know we talked about the NIMS training. We just need to follow up about that and think about if we're going to do a day in-person training, or I need to send the link around to you guys to do it online if you want to do that. But thanks for the reminder, Robin. So that's what I got.
Regarding a camera situation, would it be feasible or even advisable for the borough to put something like on the corner of the park situation adjacent to the fire hall that at least caught the intersection? I believe what they were looking for the other day was something that started at Lower Lindholm Road, and they were looking for, they contacted us, and they were supposed to come out the following day, but then they didn't. So I don't know whether they found that, you know, I don't know whether that's something that maybe we would want to consider just from a public service standpoint.
That's what I was thinking about, yeah.
I know we had discussed at one point, not just the cameras out at the park, but also, at the ball field, but also Heritage and then the new amphitheater, just basically for our properties to kind of keep an eye on things. Those could obviously cover parts of the road. I don't know about.
Well, they've become a lot more affordable in
sure.
recent years, and maybe something that the streets and maintenance safety people would maybe want to look into. I don't know.
Get a hold of Lowell Watts and at least give us an idea on what something would cost us, and then we can go from there. Cause like, I have a Ring doorbell, and from my house I can see with no problem, even in the dark, all the way down to the Lutheran Church parking lot, but it doesn't record unless there's motion. And I have it set to close to my property because I don't want to record every car that goes by.
Well, we could certainly look to Lowell. Getting him to come out anymore is like pulling an teeth, but there's so many things you can buy it on the market now.
Yeah, it's not an
Somebody would
expensive
give us
fix,
a reasonable idea, because like, we could put cameras all around here for $200 with the Wi-Fi, but when you get uptown just getting it to record and send back is the issue.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I need
Just-
somebody to let us
Just
know.
food for thought, obviously this hasn't come up a lot, but you could certainly see where it might have merit.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Well,
feel like
and
with
we
the
definitely-
investment of the amphitheater too, I mean, that's gonna be a big
Mhm.
project.
Yeah, definitely a benefit to keep an eye on our own properties, especially when we have a brand new one,
Yeah.
Correct.
and expand usage out at the ball field, which is still a goal.
Mayor, I'd like to thank you for attending the light up night for the Rotary too. It's nice to have public officials to be there. I don't class myself as a public official at those things because I'm a Rotarian, so.
Yeah, you're welcome.
We all wear many hats.
Yes. Many-
And the
it's many
Memorial
hats.
Park looks nice. Those lights really,
Oh, yeah, no,
they look fantastic.
kudos to the Rotary
really
Club for
do.
that, they're very pretty.
Down all the street, the tree,
Yeah,
all kudos all the way around.
All right, can I get a motion to accept the mayor's report?
Motion.
Chris makes a motion, you gonna second it?
Second.
Tom will second, all those in favor?
Right.
Any opposed? Let's take a look at the maintenance report.
Maybe. Barb, how did it with the, having the Orkin company here? Did it seem like taking care of the bees?
Yeah, we haven't seen any. There were, there were a few live after they did it, but
Right.
they
Sure,
just
yeah,
took
yeah.
slower to die, but yeah.
I was just
So it seemed to
curious.
work.
And then we had some warm days where you would have seen
Right,
them
yeah.
at least
No,
trying to climb on the brick up there on the outside. And I didn't get a chance to talk to Rick and John to see if they seen it sunny out there when they, you know, because I know they're keeping an eye on it afterwards.
yeah, I don't know.
Did they have any trouble getting those steps steps out of the park, Barb, do you know?
No.
as long as that video there is good.
I'm sure it does.
There's nothing else on it? Motion to accept the maintenance report?
Motion.
I second.
Chuck makes the motion, Robin makes the second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, take a look at the borough manager's report. Ms.
Okay, the 2024 budget was advertised, along with the resolution. Nobody come in and asked for a copy, asked to view it or anything, so it's all ready to be passed if you guys are ready to do it. I was contacted by PA Municipal Retirement regarding the pension plan that for the dissolved water authority. They no longer have anybody active on it, so they want to terminate it. But we never officially did an ordinance to adopt the plan, so we need to do that, and then we'll need to do an ordinance to terminate it. And once we accept it and terminate it, anything left in that plan will be given in a check to the borough.
I don't know, Chris, what do you think? I think we're gonna split that evenly.
Yes, we should.
So, they have sent me, 2 ordinances, one to accept it, one to, terminate it. The one they want us to pass effective the 30th of December, the other one the 31st. And once that's done, then they can close their books on it, we can get our check. So we'll have to motion to advertise these and then have a special meeting to pass them.
All right, well,
So-
before she goes any further, because we've already got a couple actionable things, do we want to, and I will entertain a motion to pass the budget,
I'll make a motion to pass the budget.
accept the budget, whatever the term is.
I'll second it.
All right, Chris makes the motion, Brett seconds, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
And that will include the resolution also, right? Okay.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, and then the second thing is, we need to make a motion to advertise, these PA municipal retirement system. Basically, the first one, adopting the plan, and then the second one, what's the word?
Terminating it.
Terminating the plan. And then we'll be able to actually, vote on those next month, but we need to advertise them first.
Mr. President, if I may, I think it would be prudent if we also include the house number ordinances in that advertisement and get that done at the same time, being that we're gonna be advertising 3 ordinances, might as well just have the ordinance meeting, we can vote on them all at the same time, knock them out, and we won't have to worry about it in January.
Well, I agree with that, and I was definitely gonna have us do all of that, but
I'm just saying if we.
if we wanna make it all one motion, that's fine.
I think it's-
To advertise
You
all
guys-
3. Before, I guess we do that, we should, has everyone had a chance to look over what the house number thing is, and has everyone had a chance to review what I passed around, which was from our solicitor?
Yes.
Okay. Now,
Our motion for the house number, for
Taking over
taking over
The pension.
pension,
and then
and then
and then
terminate,
terminating it.
advertising all 3, your motion to
Advertising.
advertise all 3.
Okay,
I'll second that, Barb.
All right, Robin makes the motion, Chris seconds, all those in favor for all 3?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, sorry, Barb, anything else, continue.
Okay, when we do these, you have to advertise them at least 7 days before you pass the ordinance. So we'll need to have a meeting before the end of the year.
Correct.
I'm gonna put them in tomorrow to be in the paper on Saturday, which means you'll be able to pass them the week of the 18th would be the earliest. And it's up to you guys, you can do it the last week, it doesn't matter, whenever you guys wanna do it, but.
I would love to be able to schedule that tonight if we can, just so that can also be advertised.
But it doesn't have to be a long meeting, it just, you
Right.
know,
Should be straightforward.
could be at 4 o'clock in the
Yeah,
afternoon.
it should be a 5-minute
Yeah.
meeting if that.
Right,
I'm available just about any day.
I am too.
I'm getting married.
Wow, congratulations,
No.
and I don't believe you.
Yeah, anytime is good.
Wanna do this the 18th, that Monday at 4 o'clock, does that work for everybody?
That's when you say we can, by the.
yeah, you
18th?
can do it
Yeah.
Okay.
starting the
As
18th.
long as you have a quorum, it's doubtful I'll be there, I mean,
Well,
if I can.
yeah, we just need a quorum, so we need just 4.
If
So,
you, if you have
as
a
long as
quorum,
everybody's
if I'm in
okay.
town, fine, I'm okay with that, because any day you choose, it's a crapshoot for me.
Right, okay, so why don't we say, is there a fair consensus that the 18th at 4 o'clock is good for most people?
Yeah,
All right,
The
we'll say
18th.
that's what it is, we can advertise that meeting
At 4 p.m. Okay.
and, get those taken care of.
I guess that's really all else I have. That's all I got
Okay,
because we already did the house number.
any additional questions for Barb? Or a motion to accept her report?
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Chris makes the motion, Frank seconds. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, let's take a moment to look over the minutes. If there are no questions or concerns, they will stand as presented.
Yeah, I have some concerns.
All right,
There seems to be things left out of it.
okay,
Basically, the discussion we had. You went and said everything was fine, and then in the heat of an argument, all of a sudden, everything wasn't fine.
I don't think it has to be anything in the I think all she has to legally put are the motions, and whether they're accepted or not, I don't think she has to put word for word
No,
conversations in the meeting.
it does not have to be
If somebody
exhaustive.
requests it,
So, there you go.
I'm not going to
That's-
start
that's-
putting arguments in the minutes.
This looks bad.
That's
No,
very
it-
unprofessional.
yeah, it
I
is.
do put after much discussion or after discussion.
Well, now this is public archive, it's a public record, so if anybody wants it, it's there, it doesn't need to be verbatim in writing, correct?
And I said it on the Facebook page, I'll say it here as well. If ever a video is not there, you can always come down to the office and request it. They are on hand, they're backed up here, in perpetuity. We have no intention of removing them
Right.
or losing them. We don't remove them from Facebook, but sometimes things happen. I did replace the ones that disappeared, but it could happen again. Like Brett said, everything that is said in these meetings is available in those videos, so I would feel that I don't know that, it's a tough thing, it's like, she does give a lot of information in these, This is generally for business purposes. All of the details are on the video, so I don't know that we need to do exhaustive minutes.
She's
My
not a
own
court
feelings.
stenographer.
Nobody's saying she is.
So that's just my thoughts on it. I mean, it is all there on the video.
I don't know, when somebody makes an actual claim against somebody, it's rather an official action.
But it wasn't motioned or seconded or acted upon, it was just you guys arguing back and forth.
Ah,
Just like you and I argue back and forth, they don't
so
put
he
it word for
can
word.
just say any blurt anything he wants out.
Just like you did.
I did?
Yeah.
What'd I blurt?
Yeah, you told me I was
Are
in
we
violation.
Okay, okay,
I did.
Can
you
we
know what,
not-
I've had
can we
a
not
couple
do this
It
Yeah,
wasn't a
comments,
blurt.
I've had a couple comments from citizens here that our borough council cannot get along, so how are we supposed to get anything done?
It's a good question.
So, my question is, do I wanna continue with a borough council that does not get along? Because those are the people out there that I'm concerned about, more than anything else. I don't care what you do, I don't care what you do, I don't care what anybody does. We're here as a group to work together, to find a way to work together and take care of everything out there. We're not here to argue with one another, so the people out there going, you guys can't even get along. Yeah, we're adults, this is high school stuff, we should have been over it.
Yeah,
Well, dissension and discussion and argument is a part of the political process. It would be nice if we all could get along. I forget who was but we're far from being isolated in the fact that we have contentious issues. If you pick up the Bradford paper, Foster Township, I believe they even have to have some legal
Well,
people on site.
I think it's more that,
I get
it
that.
gets personal. It
Yeah,
gets unnecessarily
when it comes to
personal and
personal
off
stuff, I
topic.
think that needs to be left.
Just like
alone.
this, right here, this discussion, I understand why you brought it up, but we're trying to pass minutes, a point was brought up, a counter was brought up, and we need to move on. We have business to conduct. That's my feeling. So I would love a motion to accept these minutes. We don't need a motion, never mind.
No.
We've already accepted them, there's.
Yep.
Let's look at treasurer's report and payment of bills.
I'd like to make a motion to accept the treasurer's report and payment of bills.
I'd like to second that.
There's a motion on the floor by Chris, seconded by Brett. If there's no further concerns about those, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, let's move on to the committee reports. Streets and buildings.
Brett, I don't have anything, cause I haven't had a chance to, I've been looking at a borough quite a bit, and I haven't seen,
Rick has pretty well covered everything in his maintenance report. Everything else seems pretty good. John's off this week, doing some hunting. Other than that, anything needs handled, Rick will take care of it. A good job, doing a good job.
All right. Finance and insurance?
We've already passed the budget for this year, so I really don't have much to say on the finance and insurance, just to thank Barb for the good job she does with the amount of money that we have to go on.
It's always a tight budget, but
Yes, it
we've
is.
survived another year, so it's working. Personnel.
Well, usually I don't have much to say or comment, simply because there is not a lot of issues, and things may be, for the most part, peachy keen and rosy. A few months back, I forget what month it was, Barb, you'd have to look in there, I did report that there was some disgruntlement amongst the employees concerning one particular councilman. I chose to downplay that and not really necessarily make that a public issue. We recently, what date did we have our personnel meeting, Brett, Barb?
2-3 weeks ago, before Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I can't
Yeah, it was
remember
just-
the date it was. It was like the
Monday. The Thursday before Friday before.
Friday
Anyway,
maybe before Thanksgiving. Yeah, it was a Friday, cause the guys
yeah.
left early that day.
Personnel met with the employees. Snacks were provided, I need to emphasize that. We had a group discussion, the personnel committee, we had a group discussion with the employees. And a variety of topics were discussed, the work environment, the working conditions, the attitudes and the cooperation amongst the employees and also between themselves and also their supervisors. There was some discussion concerning pay and benefits. The employees are understanding the tight money situation that we're dealing with here in the borough. And while they certainly would have liked to have had pay increases, they understand why there were no raises. And why they were not available. And however, while accepting that there were no raises, they are very reluctant or possibly unwilling to go along with any decreases or in wages or benefits or employee benefit contributions. Most people would be kind of against giving up what they already have. They may be willing to understand that there's not going to be anything added to it, but by the same token, there's hoping that there are not going to be any subtractions. We told the employees that while guarantees, there are no guarantees, that we will do our best to ensure that there will be no cuts if possible. And I believe that was pretty much almost verbatim what we said. We'll do our best to try to make sure that there weren't going to be any cuts. And then we met with each employee separately to discuss any private issues, because for the most part, one of the reasons I very rarely have anything to say publicly is because most issues are private and you're dealing with private issues. There's not a lot that can be said about personnel matters in the public forum. So we had a chance to talk with all of the employees privately and give them a chance to air any grievances or issues or things that they may want to discuss with personnel on a one-on-one basis. And so that I thought that was a productive time. And each of the employees stated that they understand our position and challenges to try to run the borough as efficiently and as effectively as possible, especially given the financial situation and constraints that we're in. And all three employees volunteered that they appreciate, respect, and trust Borough Council in our efforts, with the exception of one, and that being Councilman Ariamo. And all three of them categorically stressed that they neither appreciate, trust, or respect them. And evaluation forms were then completed, signed by all personnel, and they were submitted for their filing. That's all I have, Mr. President.
And again, you just like violating people's privacy.
I am not.
I guess you really don't notice.
I asked them if they were willing to state that, and they said yes, each one of them. Am I correct, Mr. Morgan?
Yes.
Am I correct, Borough Manager?
Yeah.
Funny, because one of them come running to me not long after that and made a different statement.
Okay, well, that's then,
Highly doubt that.
so be it. So I'm telling you that this, I make this a public report as a personnel chairman, along with the personnel committee and the borough manager.
All right. Move on to community development. Oh, thank you for that report, Chuck. Moving on to community development, planning and parks.
Well, the solar project, basically the project overview I submitted explains it all. The one thing we're missing is an installer to provide a quote. Any of the installers I've talked to, they were pretty excited. But once they see it's basically 2 buildings, 31 kilowatts, they don't figure it to be something they want to be involved in. Now, I'm still talking with people, so we never know. But right now, basically, the best we could do is a 31 kilowatt solar system on the 2 buildings, and it's gonna be approximately 100K, give or take, based on information that I was given from APPI and others. I believe a picture was shown of how they would set it up. on the top of the buildings to allow for walking around, maintenance, and doing it safely. Even though we could literally just lay them all down on the roof and cover the entire roof, but that makes things more precarious. So until I find somebody that's willing to come out and give quotes, that's about where that stands.
Why are they reluctant to give quotes? Because of the size and the quantity of the project? They don't want something this small, or what?
Basically, that's what they're saying,
or
the
is it our
project's too
is
small.
Is our location a
No,
hindrance?
location is not a hindrance,
Okay,
it's the size. A lot of these solar companies, like when I was speaking with APPI, they said that, they're looking more of the solar farm, almost, 100K or larger. And the only way we could actually build something like that would be to put it in our park.
Yeah.
Because that's really the only land available.
is that even big enough?
Well,
It would probably
if we
do,
went that large, if the electric company allowed it, we would end up making a ton of money. Because we don't use nearly enough electric to, you know, so we kinda have to try to keep it within range, so it's not crazy.
Right.
And to have it in the public park, that discussion has occurred. You could put a fence around it, but then, is it an eyesore? Is it a safety concern? Because you're talking about electric.
Right.
I mean, that would be like the electric company coming and putting a transfer station or something right there in the middle of the park. We wouldn't want our kids playing around it.
Well, it sounds like you're close. So if you're still reaching out, trying to find installers, I mean, I certainly appreciate all you've done to this point. Hopefully somebody expresses enough interest to give us a quote.
We'll see. Parks, I don't think there's anything.
Okay.
I kinda like the idea she had over there about pulling the swings in for the winter.
Oh, yeah, that's easily enough done. I mean, it makes sense to me. There's no reason to leave them out in the weather. People aren't gonna use them.
Well, that child swing won't survive many years,
Right.
Right. So,
and I don't know when the other swing set's going in.
in the spring.
It's actually gonna go in the spring? Sweet.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
so basically that child swing could be disposed of.
Well, I don't know if it needs to be disposed of. It really just kinda depends, once everything's up, how it, I mean, it's perfectly good, so.
Yeah, it's perfectly good, but it's not gonna last many years. It's a
No,
cheap
but-
Amazon child swing.
We could use it while we've got it. And we'll just kind of assess it once the new one's up and see what's where and, I don't know, go from there.
Oh, and I did get the chance to attend a meeting today. It was at the hospital. It was with Senator Dush. It was pretty interesting. The amount of effort that that hospital is putting forth to actually stay open and be useful and not end up like Bradford.
You talking Gene?
Yeah. You know, they are heavily utilizing the telemedicine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's working out well for them, because especially when, like, they gave an example, you have a specialist who's out there in Erie. If he's gotta come down to see a patient or something of that nature, he's gotta spend 2 hours down, 2 hours up, there's half his day shot. Where right there in his office, he could be there talking with the patient and their family if they want it, and have it all taken care of in a matter of time and still be productive and not be, say, more of a cost to the hospital
Mm-hmm.
than need be. But they are really working hard to make sure that they stay open and they are providing us with the best care possible.
That's good.
Yeah, I mean, it does work, cause I've been in, and I had one, he was from, actually down by DC, he moved there. He was in Pittsburgh's area, and he was definitely very thorough on everything he was looking at on my stuff, so.
And so I found that very encouraging, because I always had that concern, being a small being such small communities around here.
Mhm.
And that's one of the things a lot of these smaller communities are dealing with, and that's one of the reasons the senator is out and about checking these things out, because there's other hospitals that may go the way of Bradford, unfortunately. But we seem like we're pretty secure here.
It's good. And between our doctor here in town and right there, that's good. Alright, anything else?
Right, about it.
Alright, fire department, we covered the numbers, they'll be advertised. I don't think there's anything else. You think of anything?
No, I'd just like to get a copy of the ordinance.
For sure.
And that's about it, I mean, I don't have much.
Scott, you probably missed, when the mayor had her report, cause I think you just walked in when she finished it.
We're
But,
talking about the NIMS training, yeah, we just need to figure out if we wanna do like an in-person something or around that.
Let me get a hold of, one of the instructors in St. Mary's and see if he does that.
Okay.
Cause I know I talked to, county about the NIMS class, and he was supposed to get back to me, and
Yeah,
heck, I haven't had a
I can
chance.
follow back up with them too and see, it seems like we're like the only ones who really are thinking about doing it, so.
Let me talk to a
Okay.
couple instructors in St. Mary's, and I'll find someone.
Do you
that
have
can-
guys that need to do it too?
Huh?
Do you have people that need to do that training at all? I don't.
Yeah, we need to do it, actually, it'd be a good refresher for all of
Okay.
us, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, you take it once and you go through 10 years and not do, you know, you do it, but you
Yeah,
don't.
yeah.
So,
It's probably
okay, you
changed
get
a
a
lot, too.
refresher course through it, and then,
Probably has like 3 hours of COVID training.
yeah,
Oh, geez, yeah. Think about that.
it's not too bad.
Yeah. Okay, cool, yeah, we can talk about that
Yeah.
more and figure it out. Big 2024 project.
It is.
Alright, library? Robin, know anything?
I wasn't there, I don't think.
I don't know anything, there's really nothing
No,
going on.
nothing major.
The usual. Sewer seems to be about the same, the usual.
Still flowing downhill.
Uh,
Out for a
anything-
Oh.
lovely row on the pond today.
Their meetings start,
Wednesday.
yeah, the meetings are Wednesdays now during the day until
10:30.
April, 10:30.
10th, Wednesday, first
The
Wednesday?
second Wednesday
Second
of the
Wednesday.
month.
Of the month, okay.
And don't we have an opening at the beginning of the year, it's gonna be on the sewer board that we need to
We
appoint
do.
somebody for?
We
The
do.
organizational.
Yeah, we'll be addressing that in January.
So if anybody wants to put a letter in from the public that
correct.
wanna do that,
Yeah.
they could.
If anybody would be interested,
Anybody's
Interested in
interested.
I
doing
have
that.
one letter,
Is it just
so,
one position that'll be up?
yeah.
Okay.
One a year.
There's a new member of the library board too, right?
Library board currently has one opening as well.
And there's just a new member too. For the
And they
Yes.
just got a new person on the board.
I'm really excited about it too.
I bet.
The board's excited to have them. It's his wife.
okay.
Alright, code enforcement.
Do you want me to do the property maintenance now or under old business?
We can get to under old business. Anything
I-
outside of that?
No.
Alright, moving on to old business. Borough building. Any progress on anything
So we
there?
have money, there's no sense looking into it. I know we need to get, Russ up here, but right now it's not feasible.
Okay. Well, we're gonna leave it on there.
How much could it really cost
Oh, you'd be surprised.
For him.
to have somebody come
Not
inspect?
somebody to come inspect, but just to do something with it, you know what I mean?
Well, doing something.
We know we have things that need done, we know that the things could be taken care of, but like I waste a bunch of time on things until I know there's funds available.
Yeah, cause his cost could be up to $1,000.
Plus, if we can't do anything for a while, then the inspection.
I don't wanna waste anybody's time either. you know
Well,
what I
and
mean?
new things might crop up between the inspection and when you can finally do the work, if it takes a while.
In this economy, getting somebody to come out, you never know.
Well, you never know. Alright, house numbers has already been addressed, so, look at that, that didn't take long, right back to it.
After some discussion with the ordinance code enforcement committee and some talking to from a good friend to kind of get me straightened out in my head a little bit, how I wanted to handle this. We're not going to accept the property maintenance and rental inspection ordinance for various reasons. The ordinance was written for a city and we're a very small borough. It requires us to have at least one staff of certified building code officials, we have to develop a health board, we have to hire people, or a person or people to go in and inspect all the properties, and it's just too much for our current employees to do, and that'd be very expensive to have to set up a actual health board with a code official to do that. It's a whole different department that we do not have the funds to do. Also, it requires all the landlords to, register their properties, and then we'd have to inspect them every 2 years, or if somebody felt there was an issue. This seems you're putting a lot of undue stress on landlords and the extra money, and we do not have, does not have the proper, or the money to do this. We do have a nuisance ordinance that requires people to take care of their properties, and if we wanna rewrite some of that to make sure the outside of stuff is being taken care of better, we can definitely do that. I definitely feel that we need to spend time addressing our current ordinances and instead of trying to adapt a city to a borough ordinance. Also, I talked to a city landlord on the phone before I came this evening, and she said it is a very expensive for the municipality to go on to, and it can be quite expensive for the landlords. And she said anything that we do cannot override the International Property Maintenance Code that she has that are required for any like HUD housing or anything like that. So at this time, the committee would like to say we're not going to move forward with this ordinance, and I'd like it removed from the agenda.
Good.
And it's not that we don't care about the people around Jewett or their safety, we do. But I feel as borough officials, we're here to do the best what we can financially and safety for everybody in this town.
Well, like you said, we can take a look at the nuisance ordinance.
Yeah, and we can work on
And
that.
see if there's a way to bolster that to
Right.
better protect the citizens, and, maybe that's a better way to move
Right.
forward and see how we can go from there. Cause this, certainly we don't have,
No, we don't
if
have
we
the
don't,
capacity to do that.
if we're tight budget as far as looking at our own building,
Right.
so I understand. Okay, the next two items on there is a sister city project of the McWapic dinner. And I discovered in my head about yesterday that I had agreed to make committees for that and then completely dropped the ball and didn't do that. So, I apologize. And I am working on doing that now, so,
I'll just add for the sister city, it looks like you can, I didn't know if, I can just reach out to them if we want to just start the ball rolling for that, if you want me to. I wasn't gonna do that without asking you guys what you
well, we
thought,
haven't
but
decided if it's what we wanna do yet.
I think we probably, I mean,
We just, we're getting in the,
yeah.
we wanted to get a group together to talk about it and see
It's
if it was
$185
something.
a year to be a member of this,
Yeah.
is for us, so, I don't know if,
What are the benefits?
And that's what we need to break
Yeah.
down and bring back to the
Oh, I
council.
have a handout I did last.
yeah, I mean, I
Yeah,
feel
you
like
can
if
get
we
the
want
handout.
it, yeah, I mean, we're
Pass
happy to
this
wait
down to
too, but,
Robin.
It was pretty straightforward, but
Yeah, the one thing that I looked at is, I think they want you to match up with a municipality comparable to your size and make the contact to them. Maybe I'm misunderstanding it, but I think it's up to us to make the contact with, a potential sister city in another country.
yeah. I think they help like steward you through the process. is what I
Perhaps if we
gather.
contacted them and asked them, maybe there is somebody already in, like I say, we mentioned potentially Sweden. But anyway, I think if we were to form a committee, we could delve into it a little bit more than what the pamphlet had. And
Yeah.
I did a little bit more research online, but I didn't come up with a whole lot more.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess maybe, I mean, I'm just saying if we don't wanna make a whole committee out of it, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if we need to do that, is what I'm saying, I don't.
it's like just a
You
temporary
can have
committee,
that.
just a group
Oh,
of
okay.
people.
I handed one out to everyone.
I just thought
Thank you.
we get more information of better, and then bring it back here.
Well, the only thing we would have to come back with a recommendation as to whether or not we want to
Right.
appropriate the $185
Yeah, I gotcha.
So it's like a one-time deal.
enrollment
Yeah,
fee and then,
Yeah, I
and
think
then,
it's-
and then pursue it from there.
Yeah.
I had two towns in mind, but they were both 50,000 population, and I'm not too sure. Perhaps they would be a good match, I don't know, I think they'll probably ask to be something more along the lines of the 1,000.
Yeah, they probably have a whole process of how they.
And then, same with Microwapic, we do need to get some people together to start finalizing that,
So was
so.
that
And
February?
something,
Was that February?
That's right. So,
something that the
Tighten it real quick.
mayor didn't report as far as at our
Oh, yeah.
Swedish Festival meeting, the Swedish Festival Committee voted to give favors, for the McWapic dinner. Cause we told them there's roughly, maybe up to 50 people at the most.
I doubt it would be more,
I'm
yeah,
just saying,
yeah,
usually
up to
up
50.
yeah, that's about the most I've ever
That's
seen.
why we had to have kind of some time to figure, so
Sure.
I said roughly
Yeah.
maybe up to 50. But, it has favors to give of, probably like some of the Christmas ornaments that we
Yeah,
do.
we're gonna do a mix of ornaments, so I
Yeah.
was talking to Lindsay about it. Yeah, sorry, I sent you guys all an email about that, I forgot to
Mhm.
mention that, but, the committee was very generous of them, cause they're not cheap, by any means, they're very,
No.
very nice ornaments, and they all
No.
come in a box. And, we're gonna do like a little write-up about the festival and our heritage, and, put the next year's festival dates on there too, so. I think that'll be a nice little, and we put them at one at every table, or every chair, I think that would be nice.
Mhm.
But I do wonder if we wanna have like other stuff, we probably should figure that, I mean, we'll do that, but like, like table, like.
Centerpieces,
Yeah.
things of that nature. Well, you get the committee put together.
Yeah.
Bang that out.
It'll be easy.
Yeah. I know, I've had it a few times.
Yeah.
Alright, anything else on old business? Alright, new business, pass the budget resolution for no tax increase, we did that. Ordinances for former water authority pension plan, we did that. So,
We're done.
that's it for new business. I wanna say, to wrap up the year, I wanna thank everyone on this council and all of the employees and all the people who get involved and come down. It's a team effort, and I know everybody puts a lot of time and hard work into the things that we do here, even when we bicker. So I just want everyone to know that it's appreciated, everything that everyone does for the community. I appreciate it. I see all the hard work, so, and thank you for trusting me to sit here and not screw it up too much this year, so I appreciate that too. With that, I'll throw it out to public response. If anyone has anything to say about anything that happened in this meeting.
Thank you for
Yeah.
the tax increase.
Next month, we will have a reorganizational meeting first, correct?
Correct.
Yes. Yeah, next month, our meeting will be on the 2nd of January, which is a Tuesday, but you have no choice.
Yeah,
It
okay.
is the 2nd.
Yeah, so-
And any new people that have, make sure you have your stuff notarized before you come to the meeting that day.
The newly elected.
Like,
No, I don't even think I
You
got my stuff
do,
from the county.
you haven't gotten it yet?
Those two and him.
You have to have your residency thing done, and that has to be
We
active.
haven't got anything in the mail yet, so I'll have to call the courthouse.
Yeah,
Yeah, I haven't either.
cause make sure you have that when, so she
Yeah, I know.
can swear you in.
That's been like a month.
Yeah.
Right?
I had to call for mine.
I'll give him a call tomorrow, remind him
I
I
just
got
have
that.
one
Okay.
other thing for public comment, we delivered the poinsettias like we did before to all the seniors, or over 70 crowd. And I just wanna say that's a very nice Swedish Festival chipped in coalition, that is a very, very nice project, and I can't even tell you how, like, kind it is to
Who does that?
the Swedish, there was the coalition, Heritage Coalition's project, and the Swedish Festival donated towards it this year. But some.
I'm the geezer here, we got one. It was.
But
Very
it's very nice, and I
It
just
is,
think
very nice.
that it's very heartwarming. I shed a few tears on that day delivering those poinsettias, so, very nice, so, and I echo Jason, thank you guys all, very special, very Hallmark town. My friends who come to town are always like, it's a little Hallmark town, so,
Alright,
Merry Christmas.
Brett's favorite moment.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?